Pred nejakým utekáme. Najradšej mám, keď predbehne triedy.
The Lutheran Elementary School in Martin, Slovakia is very inclusive. It's bringing together families from all over the city, uniting them through their children's Christian education. Not only is the school a top-tier academic institution, but it's also teaching these kids kindness and good morals. These types of lessons help these students learn at a young age to not tease differences in others, but to celebrate them. And I don't think there's a better example of this than with Radko Matula.
Niekedy býva unavený, on býva také, nezistili sme čo ešte, či je to počasím, alebo čím, ale niekedy je taký vyčerpaný, nevládze nič. Niekedy je plne, ani v škole nedáva pozor, taký je, no nesústredený, unavený taký, ale neviem prečo zatiaľ, hej?
Keď ma to bolelo. A keď som bol v nemocnici.
On dostal chrípku. My sme chodili na plavareň. No ono to začalo tak, jeho to kolienko ho začalo, práve kolienko troška pobolievať. Šli sme k doktorovi, doktor povedal, že mu nič není, že iba ja preháňam, že to je v poriadku. Potom som ho dala na plavareň, že sa naučí plávať, lebo som mala fixnú predstavu o tom, že moje deti môžu vedieť úžasne plávať, tak som dala plávať. No a tam ochorel. A užívali sme lieky, no a vlastne, keď mu nezaberalo, tak mu opuchli mu prsty. Prvé čo, tak mu opuchli tieto drobné klby. No a šli sme do nemocnice, to bolo presne 25. decembra. No, deň po Vianociach. No a tak to začalo.
When Radko was 4.5 years old, he was diagnosed with rheumatic fever. It has many symptoms, but for him it severely affected his joints and it stunted his growth. There's a city ordinance that says that students with special needs, someone like Radko, they're not allowed to go to school for more than 4 periods per day. But at the Lutheran Elementary School, he's allowed to go just as long as everyone else and participate in after-school activities, so he feels included. There are things that he can't do. There's certain things in physical education that he has to sit out of, and sometimes at recess outside, he has to sit down and just watch his friends play.
Pán riaditeľ nám veľmi vyšiel v ústrety, lebo on s tým, že je telesne postihnutý, tak on by nemal chodiť na telesnú, on by nemal chodiť do družiny. On tým, že má individuálny študijný plán, tak ho má tak skresaný, že mal by chodiť iba na 4 hodiny do školy a dosť. No a vlastne tým, že pán riaditeľ nám umožnil, že môže chodiť do družiny, môže chodiť na krúžky, akože na telesné pán učiteľ, idú do knižnice, nosia ho na chrbte pán učiteľ, alebo niekedy na chrbte ťa pani Šuka Medvedeva niesla, keď sme mali kolovežku. A to, že vlastne, že ja si myslím, že určite na štátnej škole by sa nikto s ním akože nezapodieval. Môže byť každému jedno, či on môže ísť desi na nejaké družiny alebo nie.
This kindness and accepting attitude is why so many parents are bringing their children to the Lutheran Elementary School. The lessons their children learn come home with them each day. The parents then get interested in how Christianity is improving their children. These kids are acting as missionaries for their parents. From 1944 to 1989, Slovakia was ruled by communism. The Communist Party sought to strictly control Christianity. Belief was allowed, but worship was strongly discouraged. People knew that the government was basically always watching you. Because of this big brother mentality, many families shied away from the church, as is the case with Mirka's family. But now, because of the positive ways her son has been treated at the school, she's starting to get more comfortable with the once taboo subject of Christianity. Every night, her family has a devotional before the kids go to bed. In November of 1989, the communist regime came to an end, so you can imagine the excitement of the people. Now, many families are slowly coming back to Christianity. The Lutheran Elementary School and its students are playing a huge role in that.
So it's a very natural process almost. I know it's never natural to become a Christian, but just to naturally get rid of the prejudices that has been built for so many decades here. And also for their parents, you know, they park their cars in the church campus, they meet pastor walking by to the school and stuff. So it's really ice-breaking activity, and this model works. We tried other models. We tried mission events, we tried evangelistic meetings, we invited famous preachers, but it's always the same people coming to these events. People who already are Christians or are very favorable to Christianity, but not those who are, you know, who have some of these very strong opinions shaped by the strong propaganda. They are really afraid of church, or whatever smells churchy, they don't touch it. So this way, through children and through good quality education, it seems that you can bring them closer to Christ, which is wonderful. For our society, as it is in Slovakia at the moment, this really works. And we have wonderful stories and testimonies of, like I said, not just children, but their parents, how they met Christ this way.
There was no, I would say, family Christian education at home, at home. It means that the kids got baptized again because of the grandparents, usually grandmoms, initiative, and then there was nothing. And then once they turned to be 13, or 14, they were pushed again to attend the confirmation class.
In 2003, when they were trying to start this elementary school, it seemed like an oxymoron because of the attitude towards Christianity. Persuading parents to enroll their children was tirelessly difficult. There were many failed outreach efforts when they tried to start this school, but despite their initial struggles, the staff continued to push forward. That year, in 2003, over 100 children were registered as baptized members of the Lutheran Church in Martin, but as the day for school enrollment came closer, only 4 families showed interest in the school, which was a failure. But they still believed it was the right time for the project. They saw the situation of Christianity in this city and that the Christian mission in Martin was in very bad shape.
There was no faith example in their parents, and it is something we suffer from the communist regime, because that chain, basically we lost 2 generations. And that was, I think, the main objective why we established the Lutheran Elementary School. Because how in the world are we going to build up a new Christian generation if there is a tendency that kids are going to follow their parents, if they don't find faith example in their families?
After further efforts to improve the image of the school, more and more families started to get interested, and eventually they had enough to start the school. and since then it's been on a steady, very positive climb.
Since that, the school started to grow, and year 2005 we started. Suddenly there was big interest in the school, much bigger than we've been thinking and planning. Suddenly there was over 65 students wanting to come in the school and be in first grade. For us it's still a blessing, and really we see that as a big value because we know where we started, we know what was the beginning, we know how we struggled before the school started. And the growth comes also with pain, and the biggest pain for us was and still is is the space.
Proclaiming Christ in every way we can in this place, that's the ultimate goal. But now I can say it's almost only about the buildings, which is a wonderful stage because we just need a few more buildings.
The school is continuing to grow, so they have their needs. They have financial needs, they have spatial needs for all the children, which leaves the future mildly uncertain. In an off-camera interview when I was talking to Mirka, Radko's mother, she said that it would be so unfortunate if the school couldn't continue because it offers such a safe haven for her son, a place that he can feel included and doesn't have to be left out of, feeling normal. So there are always concerns about the future of this elementary school, but it doesn't stop them. They keep moving forward.
It's still not that bad that we should not try, and I think even if it's all failure and we have to shut down every program that we run here, I can honestly say to my son or to the generation that will come after us and ask us, what did you do when you had this opportunity? We tried. Maybe it was a failure for a short time, maybe something great will come out of it, but that's not our business, I think. Our business is to do what we can now.